Contagion issue 1 heads to Kunlun 1 week ago, where Yutai is told there is something she needs to see. The woman is shown a set of stairs that was found under the temple floor, and the catacombs it hid. The men went down and soon they found bodies inside, and man says that the men in the catacombs barricaded themselves in that room. But whatever they were hiding from must have got to them, since they are covered in a strange tumor-like fungus. The men implore Yu not to touch anything since the foul rot seems to have engulfed the men. Yu wonders where the third of the infected men has gone, as on Yancy Street, Ben Grimm goes shopping for some cat litter. Suddenly one of the local kids comes in to see him, asking for Ben's help. Ben waves it off as another one of their pranks, asking the clerk at the counter about the cat litter and which he should get. The kid insists that he needs help since that's what the Fantastic Four does, but Ben doesn't trust the kid after the last slime-filled prank they pulled on him. The boy says that there is a bunch of his friends that have gone missing, and when he and others went to go look for them, something attacked them in the old subway tunnels. Ben relents, going to the tunnels under Yancy Street with the boy and learning that they came from the old subway tunnel since things there could be worth a lot for collectors, hence why the kids went down there in the first place. Instead, they found a man covered in a coloured fuzz, muttering in an unknown language. The man grabs the boy's friend Ruby and the boy escaped before seeing what happened to her. In the tunnels, Ben soon finds Ruby, but when he tries to help her, she attacks them, having been covered in the strange coloured fungus. Ben stops her, saying he won't fight her, but the zombified girl just runs towards him, falling to the ground in a heap. The boy thinks Ben hurt her, but Ben says she just collapsed on her own. He says he won't hurt her, using the boy's jacket to cover her, telling him that this will keep them from touching the mold on her. As they leave the tunnel, Ben knows that she caught some type of infection, so he gives Ruby to her friend, telling him to get her to a hospital since he's going to stick around as some infected moloids arrive, attacking him. Ben calls Reed, telling him that there is something wrong with the moloids down in the tunnels. Reed pries himself away from his work and gathers the rest of the family as the infected Mole Man arrives, telling his minions to get Ben. Mole Man, however, tells Ben he's not himself, and someone took his moloids and they don't know what they are doing, so he hopes Ben won't hurt them. Ben asks who did this, learning that Mole Man calls him the Disease Man, who touched him and caused him to be infected by the mold, but he managed to break free from its control. He attacks, so Ben puts Mole Man down as the rest of the Fantastic Four arrive. Reed becomes immediately fascinated by the molds as the Disease Man who Mole Man talked about arrives down the tunnel, asking for help. Reed rushes off to look at the man, saying the fungus looks familiar, but at the same time it looks like it's been exposed to a mycotoxin, and could explain why it's underground, since one of the side effects to it is sensitivity to light. The man touches Reed, immediately infecting him as Johnny comes to his aid. Sue traps Reed in a shield, keeping him separate from everyone else as the being grabs Johnny with its long tentacles and blasts Ben with an energy beam. Sue realizes that their powers are being absorbed by the being as he begins sounding like Reed, wanting Sue to help him since he is hurt. Sue keeps her shield up, but the ground beneath her cracks open thanks to some of the being's tendrils grabbing Sue. An angered Ben attacks the man, demanding he give his family back, and the man throws Ben against a wall, disappearing down the tunnel before leaving the Fantastic Four on the subway ground. At the home of Danny Rand, Danny is awoken by someone sneaking into his apartment. Going to investigate, he finds it's Yutai, who says his entire world is about to be destroyed. Danny says of course it is, and he hopes he can put on some pants before they go off and save the day. Contagion issue 1 was a pretty good beginning to this 5-part story that I can't help but think was being done because of the success of DC Comics' Deceased series. It's eerily similar in that is a virus or thing infecting the heroes of said universe, and it even has that air of hopelessness as the Fantastic Four are some of the first people to be infected, save for Ben Grimm. I am interested, however, as it seems to be focusing on more of the street level heroes like Iron Fist and Luke Cage, which we've seen in the previews for the second issue coming next week, so I'm looking forward to seeing how it differentiates itself from DC's series, but so far it's a pretty interesting beginning and I'm intrigued to see what Ed Brisson has for us next. I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10.